and welcome to a little bit more of the Up Your Sexy series. However, today is with a twist because I'm actually going to be talking about things that block your sexy. In order to up your sexy, you need to really understand what's standing in the way of it. I did do one other video on this. It was talking about more conceptual things that block our sexy, like stress, depression, trauma, and shame. Today, though, I thought I would address something a little bit more concrete, something that 100% of the time blocks my sexy, and that is an STI. So keep watching if you have or have ever had an STI block your sexy, and today I'm going to talk about what you can do about it. Hello everybody, my name is Kendra. I am a counselor and a somatic sex educator here at ESC, and today I'm talking about STIs. There are very few other things that more quickly and deliberately and functionally block your sexy than an STI. For starters, they can be very physically uncomfortable, and then on top of that, sometimes you're not allowed to have sex while you're on them because you're finishing a dose of antibiotics. However, I think the biggest thing, the real big reason that they block your sexy is because of the shame. There is so much shame around STIs. And if I'm being totally honest with you, they're very normal. Almost everybody that I've ever talked to about STIs who is sexually active is like, oh yeah, that's cool. I had this, or I have this, or I still have this. But growing up in sex ed, we basically got this one picture, this really scary picture that's like STIs are evil, and if you get one, you are dirty and disgusting and you're a slut. And then they'd show you these awful pictures of what they look like when your entire vagina has been taken over by genital warts, and it's terrifying. So if and when you ever get one, there's all this shame that comes up around perhaps being too promiscuous, or there's shame that comes up just around being stupid or careless because, it's like, how could you possibly get one this day and age? There's so much knowledge and education out there. I am all for safe sex, safer sex, safer. See, that's what it's called now, safer sex, because there's still no guarantee. It's far less likely. So definitely use condoms and dental dams and get tested regularly. So you can do all of the things. You can cross your T's and dot your I's and you still might get one. And if you do, it's okay. It's not the best. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Lots of people have experience with STIs, but when we get one, we just don't talk about it. Then when you get one, it feels exponentially worse because you're like, oh, it feels like it's only you. For example, I got HPV when I was 22 years old. I cried in the doctor's office and the doctor got so uncomfortable and awkward. And she was like, oh God. In that moment, I felt so gross. I felt so ashamed. I felt unworthy. I felt disgusting. I felt stupid. I felt all of these awful things, and it's like I couldn't escape them. I just wanted to leave my body. And then I didn't have sex for almost 2 years. I didn't think I had any right. And I didn't even start to feel better until I decided to talk about it. I shared it with some friends. I felt it like it was like the worst thing that I ever had to say out loud. And then as soon as I finished saying it, my friend was like, oh yeah, I have that too. I was like, what? Why didn't you tell me? They're like, because I didn't want to tell you. That's gross. And I was like, well, Jesus, this is nice. This would have been nice to know. You feel better already. There wasn't as much knowledge around HPV at the time. Now there's so much knowledge around HPV. I think it's something like 80% of people will probably get it in their lifetime. Even comedians like Amy Schumer and Ali Wong have made comments about having HPV in stand-up routines and how, if you don't have it, you're maybe kind of a loser because it means you're probably not sleeping with that many people. That's really mean. And it's funny. But seriously, I could have used that stand-up when I was 22 years old. Because here's the thing around shame, and this is a Brene Brown. Love Brene Brown. One of her quotes is, shame cannot survive if it is spoken, and shame cannot survive empathy. Shame thrives, it thrives in secret. So my number one and pretty much only tip for dealing with STIs, that's not true. My number one tip for dealing with STIs is please go to your doctor and get the information that you need. And my number two tip is watching videos like this or talking to friends and people who you trust about your experience to help normalize it, or at the very least, get a little empathy, because it helps so much. So to summarize, yes, STIs block your sexy. Yes, take them seriously and go to see your doctor. Yes, do your research, because there are so many diet and lifestyle choices that can be managed that really impact those STIs that are with us for a long time, if not a lifetime. There is one nutritionist in particular. Love her. She's called the Yoni Nutritionist. Follow her on Instagram. She is so open and candid and amazing and courageous about her experience with herpes, living with genital herpes, and how she manages it with diet. And it's just, she's an inspiration and I freaking love her. Back to my yes list. And yes, ask for support and just know that you still have every right to have sex and be a sexual being. That is all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow us on Instagram at eatsquat.com. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Lots of love, and until next time, eat, squat, and come.